That colonial leaders had united against Britain, but the colonists themselves were deeply divided. Many had to decide whether to support independence or stay loyal to the British king, taking sides. Colonists who supported independence called themselves patriots. Those who remained loyal to the king were called loyalists. About one-third of the colonists stayed neutral or did not choose sides. As people took sides, friendships and families were sometimes broken apart. Church groups were also divided. Taking sides was especially hard for members of the Anglican Church, also called the Church of England. The king was the head of their church. Colonists faced other hardships too. Often their towns were robbed and destroyed by the British Army. In 1776, for example, British soldiers burned many areas of New Jersey. They even stole beds from the colonists' houses. In turn, patriots often took goods from the loyalists. In some cases, patriots destroyed their own belongings to keep them from the British. Others burned the crops so that the British could not get enough food.
Economic hardships. Along with personal problems, Americans also faced many economic hardships during the Revolutionary War. One problem was a shortage of imported goods. British ships also set up blockades so that trading ships could not unload goods at American ports. Prices rise. As the shortage of goods grew worse, Americans also faced inflation. Inflation was a rise in the price of all goods.
William Louder.
Because of inflation, people needed more money to buy the same amounts of goods and services. In just 2 months, the prices of wheat and beef doubled. Also because of the inflation was the falling value of colonial paper money called continentals. To pay for the war, Congress printed more of the paper money. By printing too many continentals, however, the government made them less valuable. Congress also had a difficult time trying to pay for the war. Congress could not force the states to contribute money. It could only ask them. The states could say no if they choose. Because there was a shortage of goods, some farmers and shopkeepers began profiting or changing extra high prices from their crops or goods. Some states passed laws that limited how much farmers could charge for food. These laws also made it legal for people to hoard or collect and hide large amounts of goods. However, these laws were often broken.
Women in the war. As men left their homes to fight in the war, women took on new roles. Some women ran family farms or businesses. Others raised money for the war and collected clothing for the soldiers. Some wives followed their husbands from battle to battle. Every winter when armies were in their winter quarters, Martha Washington traveled to be with her husband George. In army camps, women cooked food and washed clothes. Some brought water to soldiers during battles. Some girls and women joined the men in war. One night in 1777, 16-year-old Sybil Ludington rode more than 40 miles to tell Americans about the British attack. Deborah Sampson pretended to be a man and dressed in men's clothes so that she could fight during the war. Margaret Corbin was wounded after taking her husband's place in the battle. She became the first woman veteran to be recognized as Congress. A veteran is a person who has served in the military. Other women used their talents to support the patriot because Mercy Otis Warren wrote poems and stories about people fighting for freedom. Later, she wrote a history of the American Revolution, the first by a woman. Abigail Adams argued for freedom in the letters she wrote to her husband, John. She also cared for the children who have been made homeless by the war. African Americans free and enslaved. At the start of the war, 1 of every 5 people in the 13 colonies was of African descent. Some free African Americans had set up communities in northern cities, such as Philadelphia. However, the majority of African Americans lived enslaved, mostly in the South. The promise of freedom. Close to 5,000 enslaved African Americans fought for the Continental Army. Many were promised their freedom as a reward for their service. This promise was made to the soldiers of 1st Rhode Island Regiment. James Armistead, an enslaved person from Virginia, was a spy for George Washington. The information that Armistead collected helped for the James Armistead, an enslaved person from Virginia, was a spy for George Washington. The information that Armistead collected helped the Americans win an important battle of Yorktown, Virginia. After the war was over, the Virginia government gave Armistead his freedom. The British governor of Virginia promised freedom to all enslaved people who fought for the British. His group of more than 300 African American soldiers wore patches that said, "Liberty to slaves." Free African Americans in battle. Free African Americans also took sides. Peter Salem was among at least 5 African Americans who fought in the British at the Battle of Canard. He also fought at Bunker Hill. James Forten from Philadelphia was just 14 years old when he joined the Continental Navy. People in the West.
People in the West. When the war began, most Native Americans remained neutral. Most white settlers in the West, or the land west of the Appalachian Mountains, also remained neutral.
Get it from there.
New alliances. Native Americans were soon divided by the war. Many groups eventually sided with the British. In 1777, the Mohawk agreed to help the British. The Mohawk leader, Thayendanegea, known as Joseph Brant, helped to stop settlers from moving west. Groups such as the Oneida and the Tuscarora fought for the Americans. The feelings of many Western settlers also changed. Many did not support the Patriot cause. They wanted to help drive the British out of their